So yeah, in class today, I was checking my timetable to see when the final exams are, and then I realised I literally only have a month left in Korea. And I thought to myself, that's not a long time, so I gotta maximise it before I start locking in and actually studying. So yeah, I went onto the Korean rail website to check what was going for tonight, and I booked the last train going to Andong. And that's a city I've always wanted to go to because it's got those UNESCO folk villages and the Confucian academies. And as a Korean history student, it's a place I want to go to. So then on the subway home, I went onto Airbnb and booked myself a hanok for the 2 nights. That's like the traditional Korean style house where you sleep on the floor on like the futons. So I booked that for the 2 nights anyway at 50 quid, which is a steal. And I'll arrive there at midnight tonight. So yeah, because I arrived so late, I'm not going to hit up the pubs of Andong tonight because I want to be up for sunrise tomorrow to maximise like the only full day I have there. But you'd better believe I went onto Instagram, Naver Maps and found some good pubs for tomorrow night. So we're going to try the proper Andong soju and the local craft beers, and I'll bring you guys along with me to them as well. So yeah, let's go to Andong. And because we are going to the east of Korea, this cap would probably slide, but it just doesn't look good on me. It's just too square. It makes me look like a Minecraft character. So we're going to keep it as a display piece, but it might make its debut. It might. So it's only 4:30 now. It's got 5 hours to the train, so we'll get an Americano in the local and hit a workout. So the workout's done there. Coffee's consumed. Gonna go back now and shave and then take line 4 to Seoul Station. Let's go. So the plan for the journey is to watch a bit of the Hardy Bucks and read a bit on Korean history. That's pretty much it. That's gonna be 2 hours that goes by very quickly. So I've just gotten out of the cab I took from the station, and I'm walking to the hanok now. And as always, I've forgotten my toothbrush, so once I check in, the quest is to find a pyeonijum, get one of those toothbrushes. Let's go. But it is 10 past midnight, but here goes nothing, I guess. So we've just arrived in the hanok there. I do think I woke the owner up by ringing that bell, but it's what it told me to do, so sorry about that. But yeah, I have no clue what to do, to be honest. That thing's on the floor there. But I don't know, am I sleeping on that or these? I don't know, we'll see. But I love it, it's so warm in here as well. The walls seem to be like made of clay, which is really cool. And yeah, it just reminds me of my nan's house. I think old houses are the same the world over. The only difference is I'm sleeping on the floor instead of a bed, but you always get really good night's sleep in places like this, so hopefully I get one today because I'm actually wrecked, which is good because the plan is to wake up early tomorrow. I got the toothbrush anyway. One thing about Korea, no matter where you are, no matter how deep in the countryside you are, you're always going to find a 7-Eleven within 5 minutes of anywhere you are. And that was the case today. So I got the toothbrush, I'll brush the teeth and KO. I'm up for 6:30 tomorrow. The sun is set to be rising at 6:50, so what I'll do is I'll wake up at 6:30, enjoy the sunrise in the courtyard, take a shower and then head out for the day. Because anyway, if I head out at 6:30, nothing's going to be open anyway. So I'll just be walking around, so I'll watch it in the courtyard. Sit there maybe with a coffee. There might be some of those Maxim coffee sticks in here. I'll actually look for that. Those are nice. So yeah, sit, watch the sunrise with a Maxim coffee and then shower, style the hair and hit the town. And as predicted, they're there, the Maxim coffee sticks. They try to tuck them away in the corner and hide them from me, but you can't do that. I'll always find those. And before I sleep, while we're on the topic of these Maxim coffee sticks, I have a story from when I first came to Korea like 4 or 5 years ago as a tourist. I was about 19 at the time. So I was walking around a new neighborhood and I saw there was this Maxim Cafe. Maxim Cafe. And I thought it was dedicated to these little Maxim coffee sticks. So I go in, order an Americano, sit down, and I look up. And the walls are just covered with soft porn. And it's all groups of like older men in there. I was the youngest guy in there by about 30 years. So it turns out Maxim is like the Korean Playboy. And they had a cafe in this neighborhood. And all the lads in there were staring at me like a 19-year-old Howard. Like, look at this little freak. So every time I see these or drink these, I think of that time and I know never to make the same mistake again. Or was it a mistake? I don't know. So I think I've done this right. I put the lock through that like steel ring and I'm gonna lock the door now. No need for those fancy electronic code nonsense you have in Seoul. This is the real Korea right here. That's the setup we're going with anyway. The clay walls, the heated floors, it's freezing outside. This is going to be an elite sleep. Good night from Andong. So it's just about 8:30 now. The Hahoe folk village opens at 9. So the plan is I'll walk into the city centre now and try and find a place for a nice traditional breakfast. And I'll take a cab to the folk village. Let's do it. So I just checked Naver Maps there, and apparently there's a cafe open, a roastery. That isn't Starbucks or Mega Coffee at 8:30 in the morning. So we're gonna go there and check it out. So if you're ever in Andong, spot, very good hand drip coffee, very good. So now that the coffee's out of the way, we're energized. We're gonna go and try the Andong salted mackerel. Because a guy on my football team, a Korean guy, he recommended that's something I have to try while I'm here. So that's gonna be breakfast today. Let's go. So there you have the spread. You got a nice soup, the mackerel, all the banchan, the rice, and about 15 plates. I've always said I wouldn't like to be a dishwasher in a Korean restaurant. So we'll go to the folk village now. I'm actually surprised at how much I liked that salted mackerel. Because usually I'm not one for seafood, I just don't really like it. That was really good. It was a really balanced breakfast, not too salty. The side dishes were great. So yeah, I'm surprised with myself. But yeah, anyway, let's go to the folk village and see what it's about. So just outside the market there, waiting on a cab to the folk village. Had a quick coffee and a hot dog in the market, so I'll be back later for dinner. But yeah, waiting for the cab and see what it's about. So we've just arrived at the Hahoe Mall, and I must say the drive there was spectacular. The nature, the countryside is just beautiful. A lot like Ireland actually, very green, a lot of trees, a lot of farmland. So it was a taste of home, but yeah, looking forward to it. And the entrance fee was only €3, so you can't really complain about that. I think there's a shuttle bus to take to the village now, and then we get to enter. it's just one of those places where every corner you turn is a picture opportunity. Like, I mean, look at that. Like, all the trees are just cool shapes and shit. There's fruit growing in people's gardens, and yeah, this is amazing. Damn. So yeah, I didn't actually know this before coming here, but people are actually still living here. So you saw there in the last clip, there's a TV antenna and an air conditioning unit outside one of those thatched little houses. And I could hear conversation inside. It sounded like a family having their lunch. So I mean, that's amazing. People are actually still living in these buildings all these years later. I mean, yeah, it's incredible. Look at that. It's like a step back in time. And it's just so quiet. You could hear a pin drop, literally. Yeah, there again. You've got a TV antenna sticking out of a thatched roof. That's unreal. Unbelievable. So I was just chatting to a lovely couple alongside the river, and they told me that if I walk around the river in an S shape and get to the other side, there's a cliff there called Buyongbae, and if I hike to the top I get a full panorama of the town. So I'm on that trail right now. And while we're on the topic of the river, the Nakdong River, that's actually where this village gets the name Hahoe Marl from. So the characters Ha and Hui are derived from the Chinese characters which mean river and to turn around or to come back. So basically, because the Nakdong River flows along this village in an S shape, those two characters have combined to give the name Hahoe Marl. So there you go. You learn something new every day. So according to Naver Maps, it's going to take me about an hour and a half to get to the top of Buyongbae from here. Because there's no bridges, you just have to walk around the river in that S shape, but I'm not complaining. It's a stunning day, we're in the shade, I'm going to listen to some good music. So unless I see anything interesting along the way, I'll see you guys at the top of the cliff on top of Buyongbae. So yeah, going to enjoy this trail. Another thing that's just come to my mind on this trail is, when I was younger, like in English class or whatever, whenever I was reading about those poets and authors who are always longing for the countryside and escaping big city life, I never understood that. Because, you know, as a young guy, you want to be in the city, you want to be in amongst it, but since living in Seoul for the last 4 months, and by the way, don't get me wrong, I think Seoul is an amazing place to live. It's like one of, if not the best cities in the world. But coming here is just, it makes you realise the simple things that you'd miss. The sound of birds and fresh air. So now, 5 or 6 years later, I get what those poets and authors are onto. Because, you know, when you're living in Cork, it's not really a big city to escape, you know. But yeah, that's just something that came to my mind. It's only now I realise. Another thing I just can't get right in Korea is like guessing the weather. So on Sunday I hiked Bukhansan, and it was like 0 degrees -1 at the peak, and I'm there in shorts and a t-shirt. And then today, the sun is shining, blue skies, and I'm in jeans, Doc Martens and a big jacket, which I just dropped off to a locker, thank God. But I don't know, it's the most Irish thing about me. My clothing choice doesn't match the weather, ever. But it is what it is. That's life. Yeah, there's a bit of a change of plan. So basically the road leading to Buyongbae was actually a car road once the trail finished. So I completed the trail and I walked along that car road for about 20 minutes thinking that it would like integrate back into some sort of trail, but it didn't. It just got narrower and the cars got bigger. Camper vans are coming, buses. So I wasn't trying to risk my life to get there. So I turned back and now I'm back on the trail going towards the village again. So the plan now is I'll explore the village a bit more, look at all the buildings that are listed as national treasures, and then on my taxi out of here, I'll try and get the driver to stop by the Buyongdae Peak and yeah, look around, take some pictures up there. Maybe even catch the sunset there, depending how long I'm in the village for. So yeah, we'll play it by ear. So I'm back on the trail now into the village, and life is good. The air is fresh, the weather's great, so I'm not complaining at all. So yeah, you can see there most gardens are going persimmon. It's like a really popular fruit in Korea, and it tastes really, really good. But yeah, it's just one of those places, no matter what angle, what camera you have, a camera will never do what you see in person justice. It's just amazing. Like the architecture, the surroundings with all the mountains. Obviously the weather helps today as well, but I mean, come on. It's really everywhere you look, it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I'm so happy I came here. And I don't think this is going to be my last time either. Definitely have to come back. So I'm on the complete opposite end of the village now, and you can see the Nakdong River is right there. So it really does wrap around the town in that S shape everyone's on about. So yeah, the geography is just amazing. And yeah, the views are even better. I feel like if you're a poet, this is a place for you. There's just so much artistic inspiration around, you know. I don't know, lads, I might pack my bags and come here, drop out of college, set up a little thatched hut on the Nakdong River, grow some persimmon, I don't know. It's food for thought. So yeah, you can see there you've got people air drying the persimmon. In Korean they call it gotkam. In Japanese it's the hoshigaki. But in Korea I've seen it used in like desserts. I also think you can make some type of wine with it. But yeah, it also looks really cool when they're drying it. It's like adding to the aesthetic of the whole place. Yeah, it looks great. It must have been a vibe back in the day if you were like a Yangban scholar. Just walking through these streets, the aura with your little hat on, your handbook. Crazy. Matter of fact, if they had those available to rent, I would have put one on today. But maybe it's better they don't. Make a fool of myself. But yeah, this is just incredible. And look at that tree. That's a wonderful tree. For real, look at that tree. That's insane. It's like... Then you've got more fruit trees. Ah, I actually want to live here. How much is the rent? It's probably cheaper than Dublin. You know? So this tree is actually worshipped as a village spirit. It's called a Samshindang, which means like the shrine of the three gods. And apparently it's located right in the middle of the village, and it's 600 years old, so yeah, it doesn't just look good. Honestly, it's worth coming to this village just for the trees alone. Like, look at that. Like, you had that tree back there, the 600-year-old one, and now this one. Like, you could actually map out a tree tour of this village and you'd be here all day. I'm not even joking. all the fruit trees and like techie little trees like that. That's insane. And I'm gonna finish the Hahoe Mall tour in style with a dweji bath. But I don't know what temperature that man's freezer was, but this is rock solid. That must have been like -50 in there, so I need to let my pig bar melt a bit. So I'll sit out in the sun by the river and just chill, listen to some David Bowie, and then yeah, I'll take the taxi, hopefully to the cliff, get the view, then head back into the city centre of Andong. So I don't know if it's visible in the video, but if you can see those ropes that connect the top of the cliff to the village here, so those are not zip lines or anything like that. They're actually used during festivals in the village. So basically what happens is people go to the top of the cliff and swing like burning torches off those ropes, and it creates like a fire waterfall effect. And apparently the ritual is done to protect the village against evil spirits and bring good fortune and stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately for me it's not a zip line that I can just take down from the cliff, but it's pretty cool. So I've just crossed the largest wooden footbridge in Korea. So that's another one to add to the list of achievements. But yeah, the views here are incredible. I did have to skip the cliff because I wanted to come here for sunset, but I think that was a good chess move. Because wait until you guys see the view. It's just insane. Honestly though, this has got to be like the most underrated attraction I've ever been to, because I've been in Korea for like 4 to 5 months and I've never heard a single thing about this bridge. And like honestly, well obviously the weather is making a difference as well. But this is the coolest thing I've been to in Korea. Like this is just amazing. Like the views are just incredible. Either side, the trees in their full autumn colours, it's just so beautiful. Obviously I'm on the bridge now so I can't show you guys the bridge, but I'll do that later. But this is just heaven. A nice cold beer would make it a lot better though. So I'm gonna try and hunt a convenience store maybe. Yeah, this is unreal. So yeah, the largest wooden footbridge in Korea. Completed it, mate. It's finished. First man from Cove to do that, I'd say. Actually say I am. Need to try and find that out. That's my title now. Personally, I prefer legs coffee, but this will have to do. So I'm always complaining that I can't sleep. And at the same time, we're sipping espressos at 5 o'clock every day, so I'm digging my own grave in that sense. But it is what it is. I love a coffee. I just can't go without it. Sláinte. That's so good. That's crazy. So I'm just on my way for my last drink. My phone is 3%, so I won't be able to film anything. So I guess I'll see you next time, if there is a next time. See you later. So guys, I just came to a cafe in Andong for my last day here. And it's the most interesting cafe I think I've ever been to in my life. You'll see in the later videos like the bits and pieces the owner has lying around, but he's also the third voice actor for Doobie in the Korean Teletubbies. So can you do the Doobie Muksori? There you go, there you go. So before I actually end the video for real this time, I just want to say if you're ever in Andong or if you're planning to travel here, you have to go to that cafe I was just in, Tashi Yogiso. So basically the boss man, Doobie, is probably the most interesting person you're ever going to meet in Korea. So alongside running the cafe, he's a photographer and he focuses on like capturing human life. And he was showing me like some photos he took of the local grandmothers are like dotted on the walls of the local Taldongme, the moon village. And this was something, you know, he wanted to do. So he got onto the local government to commission an artist to put this art on these walls to, you know, liven up the character and brighten up the image of the neighborhood, which it certainly has done. And it was just amazing to see like anyone who passed the cafe, all the grandmothers were like stopping to say hello and have a chat and asking him how his trip was because he just got back from a domestic trip in like Sokcho and all that. And it was just really heartwarming to see like the community spirit there centered around this cafe. And yeah, I just want to say if you're ever in Andong, stop by, have a chat with the boss. He's honestly such a lovely guy and such a inspiring person to have a chat with, I would say. So yeah, make sure you do that and make sure you write your name and nationality and stick it on the wall. Because you better believe I did that with Ireland. You know, there's a big tricolour now on the wall with my name on it. So yeah, just want to say that. So yeah, I think I'll sign off now and yeah, maybe I'll make another video. I don't know. This was just kind of like a personal project because, you know, when you're traveling alone, when you're waiting for buses or when you're sitting on trains or when you're in taxis, instead of like scrolling through Instagram Reels, I thought, you know, why not work on a bit of a self project and edit the videos while I have all this free time during solo travel. So that's what I did this time. And yeah, we'll see. I might do it again. It was really fun to make and I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah.